Good morning, everyone. So everyone thinks that Mbappe wakes up at 5 a.m, does ice baths and meditates, but does he really do that? Well, I tried his real routine and it nearly ruined me. So as you can see, it is just past 7:30, and a lot of young footballers think that the pros wake up at 6 a.m, but to be honest, they're not really. They're just waking up naturally because obviously they've got loads of team training and games, so they prioritize their sleep a lot. So 7:30 isn't super early and it's not super late. It's just like in the middle, and it clearly just works for Mbappe himself because he prioritizes his sleep. He knows his body is a temple, so he makes sure to look after it with proper quality sleep. And as soon as he wakes up, he gets outside to watch the sunrise and get that morning sunlight into his eyes. And of course, he does some grounding and some gentle movements to get the blood flowing and the lymphatic system moving. As a footballer, you need to be getting outside first thing in the morning. Morning sunlight into your eyes actually boosts your testosterone, improves your recovery, and ultimately makes you a better footballer on the pitch. A bit of morning movement done in the sun, grounded, barefoot. Absolutely amazing for your health and performance as a footballer. And as you may have noticed already, Mbappe doesn't really go on his phone first thing in the morning. And there's a big reason for that. A lot of footballers, when they wake up, they just grab their phone right next to their bed and just start scrolling on TikTok, Instagram, replying to their Snapchat. And the truth is, that is destroying your performance as a young footballer. That hit of dopamine isn't helping you. Instead, what you should be doing is getting outside first thing in the morning, getting that morning sunlight into your eyes, doing some grounding, doing some morning movement to get the blood flowing. And then after you do that, you can just check your phone and check your notifications. It's absolutely fine. But if you want to maximize your morning routine and get the most out of it and actually win the morning so it sets you up for the rest of the day, then don't go on your phone first thing in the morning. And this is something that Mbappe does to ensure he has high quality performance in team training and games. And another question that you may be asking is like, does Mbappe actually do this type of like morning movement? Well, of course he does. And as I said before, he treats his body as a temple. He knows the importance of good, healthy habits. And this is the reason why he's always so consistent every single season, and why he's also finished top 10 in the Ballon d'Or every single year. But even if he or your favorite footballer doesn't do this type of stuff, it's still super important for you to do as a young footballer. The last thing that you should be doing is waking up and scrolling on your phone and just lying in bed. Get outside, get that morning sunlight into your eyes, and do some morning movement to get the blood flowing and keep your fascia healthy. So I actually made a free document with his full training and morning routine. So just head over to my Instagram at Natural Footballers and DM me the word Mbappe and I'll send it to you right now. Right, let's get back to the video as it's nearly coming up to 8 o'clock and it's time for breakfast. Let's go. So for breakfast, we can have a few different options. We can have eggs, toast, avocado. We can even have red meat, whatever you fancy. What I highly recommend is that you stay away from processed junk, such as cereals, waffles, and even pancakes as well, if they're filled with loads of random ingredients such as sugar, seed oils, and just a bunch of wheat. So it's super important that the food you're eating just has one ingredient. So let me go get the ingredients for a meal that I'm gonna make right now. Oats, milk, frozen fruit. So we're just gonna make a simple bowl of porridge. It's pretty easy to digest. It will fill us up for training and it will give us that energy that we need. What I recommend you to do as a young footballer is to try different meals, try different foods, see what works for your gut as well, because different people react to different food. Some people may not react to oats. Some people may get digestive issues with oats and porridge. So a better option for you would be eggs and vice versa. So just see what works for you, try different things, but all I can suggest is just stay away from the processed junk such as cereal and waffles and all that random stuff that people try selling you. Voila, we've got breakfast, which is a bowl of oats and some frozen fruit on top. We've just got some blueberries, strawberries, mango, all that good stuff. So lots of good nutrients into our body. So let's give it a quick taste test.
Very good. I do like porridge, and it does kind of sit well with me. As I said before, if it doesn't really digest well with you, then don't have it, because it will disrupt your football performance and just your overall energy, and it will also give you brain fog as well. So I'm gonna eat this up before I go train. But you're probably wondering as well, does Mbappe like scroll on his phone and watch Instagram reels whilst he eats? And to be honest, the truth is, who doesn't? I mean, our phones are quite addictive. And I even scroll on Instagram reels and watch TikTok whilst I eat my food. Ideally, you don't. You're just in the present moment, eating your food and just focusing on chewing the food and digesting it properly. But it's hard to ignore your phone, I get it. End of the day, the less you can spend on social media, the better. And the reason why so many footballers are unconfident, anxious, and just have no self-belief in themselves is because of social media. So if you're a young footballer and you want to thrive on the football pitch every single game day, then try stay off your phone as much as possible. Limit your social media time to just 1 to 2 hours every single day. If you do that, then you'll see a major difference in your mindset, your mentality, and just how you approach games, because you'll be more in the present moment, which equals to more focus and passion for the game. And this is something that you see in Mbappe's game. He's always fighting for the ball, he always wants to score goals, and of course, he always wants to win, as we saw in the World Cup final against Messi. So long story short, you can still use social media, but just try and limit how much content you consume, because it is damaging your brain in the long run. All right, so it just turned 9 o'clock and I've got the footballs in the back, as you can see, and we're off to the pitch to go train. And I know what you're thinking, Harvey, Mbappe doesn't drive a Nissan Leaf. I know, we're not at that stage yet. He probably drives a Rolls Royce or a Lamborghini. I get it. We can't copy everything from his morning routine. I mean, come on, guys. Anyway, let's drive to the pitch and begin our training session. Let's go. So as you can see, it is 9:30, and yeah, this is when Mbappe starts training with his team, whether that's Real Madrid or France. They start early in the morning, get a 1 to 2 hour training session in, and then they go inside and do their recovery and their other kind of exercises and stuff like that. But the big question that so many footballers ask is like, should I wake up at like 5, 6 a.m. to do a training session? Like, will that make the difference? Will that actually help me push into that pro academy? Will that actually help me push into the professional level? And the simple answer is like, yes, you can. There's no real need. Obviously, most of you have school at about this time, so obviously you can't train now. So then doing a 5, 6, 7 a.m. training session before you go to school makes sense. Or you can just simply train after school. There's no big deal. The truth is, we don't want to make football a grind. We don't want to force ourselves to wake up early and go train, because that's not really enjoyable. If you want to make it far in football and accelerate your skills, then you need to make your training fun. And if that means just waiting until after school to train, then just do that. But end of the day, it's what works for you. If you like waking up at 6 a.m. to do some training, then do that. But if you don't, then just don't do it, because there's no real added benefit, all right? So before we get into the training session, I'm just gonna take off my shoes real quick and get a lacrosse ball to roll my fascial adhesions. And all we're doing is simply getting the lacrosse ball and just rolling out the feet like this. Fascial adhesions are basically knots in your fascial web, so you need to get them out with the lacrosse ball. So just spend a few minutes on each foot, and you'll feel a big difference out on the football pitch. This is what Mbappe and all the pros do before their training sessions. And another good area to roll out your fascial adhesions is the calf. So just get the ball and just place it under your calves and just roll them out. When you find a tender spot, like there, oh, that's tender. I'm gonna roll it out, apply more pressure. This is why Mbappe's movement on the pitch is so fluid. It's because he rolls out these tender spots, and this ultimately allows his fascia to move smoothly. And of course, make sure to check your quads, your IT bands, your hips, your glutes for any, and if you find any tender knots there, then make sure to roll them out before your training session. All right, I'm feeling all warmed up now and loose after doing some fascial adhesion rolling and also doing some hops before my training session. These hops are super important because they help build your ankle stiffness. And you can see on screen now, when Mbappe sprints,
his ankles don't drop at all. He's running on the ball of his foot, and this is why he's so explosive and his acceleration is top notch. So before your training sessions, just do some hops. It can be double leg and it can also be single leg as well. And this will help build that ankle stiffness and also build that foot to glute fascial connections, which is what all the pros have. But yeah, with our training, we don't want to overcomplicate it. And this is the same kind of principle that Mbappé follows. All he does in his training sessions is some unrestricted training, which is juggling, dribbling around the pitch, doing whatever skills come to mind. So when it comes to game day, he can play through pure instinct. Then he just finishes off with some shooting. He gets his teammates to ping the ball to him, he takes a touch and then finishes. He also practices his signature shot, which is his near post finish. And of course, he finishes off with some penalty kicks, because as we saw in the World Cup final, he scored 3 against the best goalkeeper in the world. So that's what a typical training session looks like for Mbappé. Anyways, if you enjoyed this video and you're serious about becoming the best player in your city and getting pro trials, then just click this video right here, because I made a free full masterclass showing you how to do that. Click this video right now to watch the video, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.